Hi, should you buy shared ownership? Well, I was actually reflecting and looking at this just the other day. I was literally thinking, you know what? If I hadn't have bought a shared ownership property when I did, and we're talking a few years, many years ago actually, I would never have been on the property market. I would never have been on the property ladder. I was able to purchase a property years ago when I wasn't earning a lot of money. I really didn't want to just pay somebody else's mortgage. I wanted my own mortgage, but London house prices were absolutely ridiculous. Like, where are they going with these prices? So, I had to literally purchase half of a property. And a few of my friends at the time were like, why are you doing that? Just wait, just wait. Oh, new builds are this, new builds are that. And I just didn't listen to any of it. I literally just blocked everybody out because as far as I was concerned, I need to, do what I'm doing. So I put 50% down. I got a 50% mortgage, and I went into shared ownership with what you do call a housing association. So I went into shared ownership with a housing association, and I managed to get a new build property. I was the first person to live in it, and that was really good. I felt very comfortable. The carpet was new, everything was just brand new. It smelled like heaven. I loved that property. I bought a one-bedroom apartment, and I loved it. I loved my neighbours, and everyone was just like, first-time buyers, and it was just such a good experience at the time. Now, I just feel that, I would never have been able to do that if I hadn't have, I would never have been able to own a property if I hadn't have had a shared ownership property. Now, what I think it does is allow you to be able to have some, when your house price goes up, you're able to actually gain a piece of equity from that. So, for instance, if you buy a house for, let's just say, 180,000, if you live in it long enough, over a few years, the equity will rise, and then with that, the percentage of your shared ownership will rise as well. So, there is such thing as staircasing. So you don't have to only have 50%. You can actually staircase. So as your money grows, you can staircase upwards and, own more of that property. Or as your money grows, you can sell and get the percentage of the equity in the house for the percentage that you purchased at the price. One of the pitfalls with maybe having a house association property when you do want to sell, sometimes there are clauses where they'll say, you can't quite go at market value because it still has to be affordable for people who are in the scheme. So they might give you like 3 to 6 months to, they'll offer it to people within their pool. But if they don't get it sold within that time, you can go out to market, or you can find a justification to go straight to market, and you can sell it at market value. I was going to do that at one stage, and I had developers knocking on my door wanting my property because it was right near a station. And I thought, why are these people knocking on my door? I thought, you know what, let me try and get the 100%. So I was able to get the 100% on my property, and I did. So I still own that property up to now. Now I own 100%, so I now let it out, and I do have my own properties elsewhere. But it allowed me to have that first experience. It allowed me to actually gain money on it. I still have equity in that property as of today. So it's a nice feeling, and it's nice to do, and there's lots to tell. So, some of the pitfalls are, generally housing association houses do come with a lease. They tend to be... You tend to have like a lease for maybe 100 years or etc. So as the years go by, the lease goes down. Now, if that lease goes down past maybe 80 something years, sometimes you do have to look at maybe extending that lease. So you work with the housing association to do so, and that could be up to a few £1,000s depending on how many years you need to extend that lease by. So that's just one thing to look out for. Another thing to look out for is, sometimes, the housing association, depending on the housing association you have, when you have issues with the property, maybe there's a leak or anything like that, sometimes they can be a bit slow in sort of fixing things. But it's just a case of making sure that you have used their portals and their systems and their phone numbers to, log those issues and make sure that those things are going to be taken care of. But that's also the good side. So, when you own a property 100%, you're completely in control of having to fix this property, versus when you have a shared ownership property, the housing association will offer that offer the certain services to you still because you are part renting. So you do pay part rent to the housing association, but how I see it is you'd have to be paying rent anywhere, like I did say before. And what happens is the percentage that you do own, because it's a small percentage, you pay a small percentage to the bank, and because you're only paying a percentage a rent percentage, you end up not paying a whole rent percentage to the housing association. So when you put those two together, it is what you would normally pay, maybe somebody to, it is what you would pay maybe at the bank as a mortgage, or somewhere, a landlord that you would to rent. So it just works out for me. To me, it really is a win-win situation if that's the route you have to go down. If you can afford to go straight to freehold, or straight to, owning 100%, then, and that's your choice, then feel free to do that. But you can go into housing association. You don't have to own or staircase, don't have to own the whole thing and staircase up. You can sell the percentage that you currently own and move on there forwards. So yeah, thank you. That was my experience of housing associations. Sorry, shared ownership.